What's an assumption about women that most men get wrong? That all women are the same. Women want, how about you talk to the woman you're actually trying to pursue? Whoa, this would mean I would have to treat a woman like a human with thoughts and feelings of their own. That can't be right. I know exactly what a woman wants. It's pockets. That they are almost a completely different species. Men and women are more alike than any side like to admit. I'm a man, but I was raised in a house of women, no men at all, so I've spent all my life around women and that's the number one thing I see. Like when people talk about asking women out or women doing X, Y, Z and M, like, well, have you considered treating women like human beings and not like some fantasy fairy creature with unknown powers? That taking birth control is always a safe option for women. It's not. Birth control can have serious effects on our hormones. It can cause blood clots. IUDs are painful to get put in and removed. Pills can lead to hormone withdrawals, causing major migraines and uncontrollable mood fluctuations. There is a danger to birth control. I have a friend who had a stroke at 36 because of hormonal birth control. Definitely not the answer for everyone. That just because they're friendly it doesn't mean they want to bear your child. Is she flirting with you, or is she just hot and speaking? Or is she just providing customer service? Not every barista wants to fuck you. That we're hairless. Most, if not all, of us have hair. Everywhere. Yes, hairy women exist. We're not dirty, or single, or insane. We're literally humans. I don't understand how men pick on women for having peach fuzz, hair on their backs, hair on their buttocks, etc. Some men think women come as they're shown in Norp. Yeah, I had an ex fully try to convince me that he had zero control over his skid marks on his underwear because men grow hair back there and that makes being clean difficult. I told him I was able to keep clean when I had hair there. He told me I was making that up because women didn't grow hair back there unless they had a hormone problem. Boy, was he shocked when I told him most every woman had some degree of hair back there. A lot of women just remove it. They underestimate how many women experience pain during penetrative sex. The majority of women have reported at least occasional pain during sex, and a not insignificant percentage, studies vary on exact number, regularly experience discomfort. Oh yes, I'm so jealous that the male sexual experience is pain-free. Feeling pain during sex is a freakishly rare occurrence for them, whereas there are articles upon articles talking about how to determine which one of 10 different reasons sex might hurt for a woman. I'm also tired of sex making me ill. That dating is entertainment. It's not. It's a lot of work. And men aren't competing with other men. They're competing with the sense of peace and freedom women have when they're not in a relationship. Unless you bring that peace, comfort, and freedom to the table, she won't stay. Doesn't matter how good the sex is. Along with this, men think being an old, lonely, childless cat lady is the worst possible thing that could happen to a woman, and love to use it as an insult. The thing is, most women are not actually insulted by this, because it's not an insult to us. The peace and free actually sounds pretty awesome. In reality, that phrase really only makes the accuser look bad. The accusation is that women should lower their standards, or else. But here's the deal, we looked at everything you bring to the table, your personality, your values, and how you treat us, and we compare that to being alone forever with the cat, and we are mindfully choosing to shift shit nuggets out of a sandbox for the rest of our lives than to be with you. All you had to be was more appealing and less trouble than cat shit, and you couldn't. You lost to cat turds. We don't need to lower our standards, you need to be less chaotic than turd nuggets. My ex, you seem to like your cat more than you like me. Me, yeah, the cat's never called me a whore during an argument. Weird that I like him better, huh? That expressing strong emotions means we're now incapable of rational thought, and should therefore be ignored. Yes, I'm crying. I'm crying because I'm upset, but I'll still be able to set out for you the how, when, why, and what I'd appreciate moving forward. With some men, it's like they see tears and there's a loud, authoritative voice that booms in their heads. She's emotional. Nothing she says makes sense from this moment on. On the flip side, if we force down our feelings to speak calmly, those same men will also hear a voice saying, well, she doesn't look all that bothered, so this probably doesn't matter much. This is actually the most frustrating thing ever, and it happens way too often. Also, I find that with lots of these types of men, they don't treat their emotional outbursts in the same way. They don't count their obvious anger or passive aggressiveness as being emotional. Yet if you cry show emotion, then you must be too emotional and therefore incapable of logical thought. That certain things traditionally done by women are easier for us. Like no, it's not easier for me to stay up all night with the baby. Not easier for me to juggle work with taking care of kids. Yup, like we innately know how to do domestic tasks. No, we learn by doing them. I don't know about most, but I've seen lots of dudes assume women hate men and think different characteristics make men subhuman. I see so many posts about. Women are disgusted and repulsed by my ugliness, baldness, pimples, height, weight, autism, disability, etc. I have never looked at anyone and felt disgusted or repulsed. Unless they did something disgusting, like if they were kicking kittens, pooping on the sidewalk, or a known rapist. Otherwise, people are just people, and I view them with the same consideration and regard as I would any other stranger. Their level of attractiveness isn't important at all unless I'm actively deciding who to date. Also, the phrase, subhuman, has never entered my mind. Frankly, it seems like a very evil and Nazi sort of word. Men think women are as visual as them. We're not. I saw a video a while back that had a very stereotypical cowboy dancing with his lady, holding her tenderly, spinning her round gently, and looking so in love. Of course, the comment section was filled with women saying they wish they had a man like that, only for loads of men to upload videos as a response with them dressed as cowboys. We didn't like the video because the man was dressed like a cowboy. We liked the video because of how sweet and tender he was. I saw a video of a man just enjoying a bonfire on his own. There were comments like, "Women would never understand. Not me with my bonfire sitting out alone in the backyard. Nothing like building a good-ass bonfire. It touches a primitive feeling. It's almost like we're human or something. That a smile or general friendliness is an invitation for sexual activity. Or that we believe you about all your crazy exes. If you run into an a-hole in the morning, you ran into an a-hole. If you run into a-holes all day, you're the a-hole." It isn't that all men are violent. It's that we cannot tell which men are violent and which men are not when we first meet them. And if they are, it's a little too late. The way you combat this is not by going, "Not all men," to every woman who is scared and suspicious. It is by holding your fellow men accountable when they objectify and demean women. That we get turned on by looking at shirtless muscle-y men. I can look at an Abercrombie model and feel absolutely nothing LMAO. Let me clarify, is it attractive? Yes, but not all women are like, drooling and barking at the image. Sure, it's a great addition to someone we are already attracted to based on other factors. But it's not the main thing that turns us on. This also applies to sending a girl you don't know a dick pic. Just because you want to get pictures of titties doesn't mean we want to see your dick, bro. I wouldn't say most men get this wrong. I think it's more of an online issue. But I've seen this common idea online that assumes that all women have a strong support system, don't deal with loneliness in the way men do, which is not true. I do agree that the way social norms are in our society, women are often, not always, better prepared to forge strong emotional bonds. But that doesn't mean that everyone does, especially when mental illness comes into play. That women are not as sexual or as interested in sex as men are. Most women pretend to be more vanilla than they actually are in order to avoid judgment, especially in some cultures or countries. But rest assured, we can be just as filthy-minded, if not worse, than men. I'd argue most things, to be honest. And I say that as a man. Safety, autonomy, cost of healthcare and products, job prospects and expectations in various spaces, even just feeling comfortable in hobby spaces. A lot of men may be aware of the discrepancy between the genders for a lot of these things, but probably don't have any idea how wide it actually is. And for those who are even aware of it, many will just not think about it in daily life and perpetuate issues, to some extent, unless it's directly brought up to them. My personal favorite is a story about one company who had a female tech support and male tech support swap names for a week. She had way worse metrics and reviews than he did, but nothing appeared wrong in training or anything. When they swapped the names so that she had a male name and he had a female name in the chats, The reviews not only swapped initially but got worse for him over time because he grew so frustrated with how poorly the people he was doing support for were treating him, and how many of them assumed he had no idea what he was doing solely because of the female name. That all women are gold diggers and just into material stuff and will cheat on you. There are women out there that do these things, but there's way more that don't. You're just not looking for the right woman. That we all want kids. That they want to be fixed instead of just listened to. What's an assumption about women that most men get wrong? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.